Welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Tonight we're going to have episode 180 of The Coin Vault Has Opened. We'll be looking at some 1981 Ds, Lincoln Memorial cents in their mint cellos cut from mint sets. I got these off of eBay a little while ago. We went through some other 1981 Ds, I believe, a couple weeks ago. But we'll look through them, see if there's anything good worth grading, and then we can zoom in and see if we can find any RPMs or anything interesting. There's not a whole lot for this year, so it's one of those dates where nobody really has found anything super cool for this date. So it's a long shot night. But welcome everybody. Hope you guys are all having a good night and a good week, and hopefully we'll find something interesting here tonight. So we'll look through them, check out what the condition is of them. When I was sorting these from some Philadelphias, they came with, I did notice at least one really nicely toned one. I did see some spots on quite a few of the coins, and gonna have to figure out what to do with all my spotted mint cellos sometime here in the future. Perhaps I can make a YouTube video where we go and spend them in a store still in their mint cellos and see what cashiers think of little cellophane pennies. They'll make me remove them all, or what will happen. But 1981 and 1981D, not too bad of a year if we can find an MS66 or a 67. Obviously this will not be the coin we're looking for. It's got a fingerprint on it. And seems like could you imagine getting a mint set and then just having a big fingerprint on it from a mint employee? It's like, yes, all the utmost care was taken while handling the coins with our dirty hands. We'll see what we can find. The coin market still appears to be super hot here. It's getting towards summertime, which normally is when the coin hobby kind of slows down, and I feel like because looking at that bottom step, it just looks interesting. Probably a scratch. But it's like last year things didn't slow down for because of the pandemic. They just kind of accelerated as more and more people looked to online to purchase coins. And this year it seems like in some areas of the country things are starting to open up, and people who are vaccinated have more options to do things. So it'll be interesting to see if the online market of coins stays as strong and fierce. But pretty much it seems like anything Lincoln is doing awesome. I have been noticing, last week I started to notice a big uptick in quarters. Before it seemed like Lincoln cents were the main things that were just any and everything Lincoln was selling above PCGS price at auction. And but I've been having a lot of Washington quarter sales, and then towards the end of this week it seemed like nickels, which are never hot. I've been having lots and lots of nickel sales, so that's been interesting. Had a lot of the most West Point quarter sales that I've ever had before since I started buying those, and so those seem like they're turning out to be a pretty good investment, so pretty happy with that. When I looked at West Point quarters like a week or two ago, when I started to see an uptick, I noticed that almost all the raw ones are gone. A few of the varieties, a few of the 5 quarters from the West Point, they're just gone. They're like sold out. I think it's the American Memorial and the Frank Church, which I just did see one up on eBay just now, right before the show started here. I almost purchased it. But it's kind of interesting. I mean, they didn't make a bunch of them, so they should be things that turn into key dates here later. And it just seems like they've been kind of slow to catch on. I think people didn't know how many of them would show up out of the few million that they made. And it seems like now people have, some people probably have kind of figured out which ones are the most rare, and they're targeting those, but it seems like the other ones are following. I barely see any auctions up for them. They were just flooding the auction house, and I'd kind of let them go and pick up a better deal later. But I think I'm going to be picking up any that I see at a good price, because I think that they're going to get a lot more expensive soon. Pretty much anything Lincoln, MS 66, 67, 68, 69, just selling really, really good. If you guys have any, I'd put them up at buy it now for above PCGS value, because they're selling really good. This one's got some toning on it. Oh, it's actually quite pretty underneath the light. I think this is the best coin we've found so far. Put that one to the side. And so most of these I feel like look like 63, 64. Maybe we saw a 65 or two, but definitely not high grade. They all have a couple spots on them where most of them are in pretty good condition. Some of them I feel like a little bit of the luster is gone. Nice reverse on this one. A couple spots on the front. Couple scratches on the front of this one. And a spot. So yeah, most of these seem like they're 63, 64 so far, but we've only gone through a few of them. If the back on this one is perfect, it might be a 65. There was like one long mark, another mark on the reverse. Let's say that's a 64. This one's got some pretty nice bright luster, and it's got a spot, which I think is going to put it at a 64. And I mean, who wants a spotted 64? I had somebody ask for a return today on a 64 red that had a spot on it. It was pretty obvious that it had a spot on it. But you know, it's like you have a 65, you got a spot on it. PCGS has got to ding it down a grade to a 64. Maybe if the coin was perfect. Otherwise it might get a better grade, but it's just not. Nobody wants a spotted coin. A little bit of toning on this one. I feel like it kind of like an orange color towards the top. It looks like the cello is broken too. Let's see if we can see what it looks like without the cello on it. So it's like you can see like the cello got compromised, and the area right where the cello was broken started to tone before the rest of the coin. Pretty nice looking obverse here. A little bit of chatter in the fields. I'm not sure how much, but let's check out the big spot on the reverse. I think that is on the coin. Let's move it around a little bit. Yep. Some big scratches. Otherwise, that hadn't been there, but that's just the way it goes. It's hard for a coin to make it through the whole coining process and not have something wrong with it, but pretty nice looking obverse. I feel like there's a couple scratches up in there, even though most of that appeared to be on the cello. And a spot on the reverse. Welcome to looking at spotted coins. Very, very small spots. Small spots on the reverse. Otherwise they're pretty nice. Well, I guess there's some coin got chewed up a little bit in that bottom field. Seems to be where these ones are getting chewed up. Spot and a pretty big mark. Find the spot. The Cellos got some weirdness to it. It's all kind of bubbled. And pretty much mint Cellos seem to have just fallen off of eBay. I don't know if anybody has any good sources for where to find nice mint Cellos. Feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. Because I'm running out. I've been trying to buy some bankrupt rolls. I've got a couple of 56s. I was gonna open one tonight, and for whatever reason, best excuse I can give you guys is I cut my fingernails really short, and it seemed like it would be hard to pick them up tonight. So I figured by Wednesday I'd be back in the game. That last one wasn't too bad. It's like I feel like with like a spotted coin, like unless there's something really interesting about it, it's like this one's like a 0.5% off center maybe. One rim is far larger than the other. It'd be cool to find some mint errors, just like a really off-centered coin or just something interesting in a mint cello. I don't think I've found that yet. I did find one that it looked like it had like a reeded edge on it, just ever so slightly. Which I'd found some raw before and I figured it was just some sort of damage, but then when I found one inside a mint cello, that one seemed pretty interesting. But I think that's the most interesting kind of mint error that I've found. Looks like, oh no, it's kind of like a scratch up here. It's like Lincoln's got a scratch on his face too. Might have been a nice coin otherwise. The luster on this one just doesn't quite seem even. Eek. And so there's one double die for 1981D, and it's primarily in the motto of "In God We." It honestly did not look very significant. It looked, I don't know, I saw it on coppercoins.com. Looking at it, it honestly looked more like machine damage. The way that it was, there was a spread in it, and maybe the example had machine damage as well, and so I just wasn't seeing it clearly. But I feel like RPMs is really, there's like 6 of them that I saw for this year, and so I feel like probably just checking out RPMs and checking out the spread here. There's nothing on the reverse that is known or recorded or out there as information. Pretty nice looking obverse on this one. Spot between in and God, I guess. A couple little marks on this one. I feel like that one would probably be able to pull off a 65. If this one's clear on the back, this one might be. A little tiny spot over there. This one looks like it might be a 66. I mean, that's like a tiny, tiny spot. Maybe a chip on the step. But pretty clear fields. Couple scratches on Lincoln's face and a couple in the right field. And a couple on the reverse. It's probably a 64. Don't have a good handle on this one. A little scratch under Liberty. A little bit of toning on the reverse. Metzella's kind of funky. I feel like that one might have been a 65. It's funny, these ones with a big spot on them, I feel like a bunch of the ones with a spot look really nice. That one didn't look awesome. 81D, bunch of spots, bunch of spots. I need to like do an auction where I just take all my mint cellos that have spots on them and like a spot sale. A little bit of toning on this one, kind of like white bubbles. I'm guessing there was a little bit of moisture on it. But it looks like the luster is just a little bit off. Spot on the obverse. Pretty minor scratches. I feel like there is some stuff going on up there even with the cello. I feel like there's enough, it's probably 64. More spots. Spot on the reverse. Little scratch up in the left field, spot under Lincoln's torso. Spots on the reverse, right at 64. Nice field, spot. Pretty much the same on the reverse. It looks like most of that's on the surface of the cello. That looks like it's on the reverse. Spot on the memorial, couple scratches. That might have been a 63. Nice fields other than the scratch. Kind of a scratch going through the columns there, it's pretty deep. I don't know what that one would be. I feel like it only had two marks on it, which I feel is pretty good. So not the highest grade roll here so far. We've got maybe like 15 more coins. Pretty nice obverse, little mark on Lincoln's cheek. Couple little darker areas, not really spots. And kind of a darker toned area. It looks like it's got pink purple on the bottom of the memorial, and scratch on the step. Scratch in the central bottom field. I feel like these 1981s are brighter than a lot of 1981s I see, but they are spotted, which I feel like most 1978 to 1981s that I see, that when they spot they usually have like a blue or a purple, while these ones all seem really carbony, which is sad. I'd feel much more confident getting something graded with, you know, like a bright colored spot on it than like a dark one. Couple little marks on the reverse here. The obverse looked pretty good. A little bit of chatter in the west field. Same on the reverse. A little bit of a darker tone spot. It kind of looks like brown when I look at it. Doesn't look black though. So it looks like just the one-toned coin. There's a few left here. Perhaps there was a second in here. Pretty big spots. One to match the front. More spots. Everyone loves spots. A little bit of toning on this one. Seems like it's mainly the rim. It doesn't really show. It's kind of a white, kind of a whitish toning with like maybe a little bit of kind of a pinkish. So this one would probably grade red-brown. It's like a little bit chewed up on there, but otherwise the surfaces were pretty good. Couple small spots. Couple scratches on the reverse. Got a couple chances here for a nice coin. Hey Logan's Coins, welcome. Oh awesome, you received your package. I did not check the tracking yet, so thank you. You saved me a job. Congratulations on winning the scavenger hunt again. I hope you're having a good weekend. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Anybody watching Logan won the last scavenger hunt. I think there's still a couple of them out there. You guys can check out my GAW list, but I think there's at least 2 more out there. And they've been up there for a while. So congratulations, Logan. And wish you luck if you dare to do another one. And hopefully I can have some time here and put up another scavenger hunt. I want to put extra work into the next one, make it fun. Alright, we can see, let's look at the toned one again. I think this was probably the best coin just because of the color on it. That was in the roll. It's pretty much just on the obverse. But it's a nice kind of a pink purple color. It looks like that mint cello was intact. Let's see. I'll turn on a light here. Here, we'll check out the tone coin with the light on before I zoom in. Nice, it just shows up really nice under the light. I miss having little fingernails. I'm even having trouble picking these up here. But let's zoom in and we'll take a look at the mint marks. And we'll take a look at the beginning of... And I feel like it was mainly God up at the top. That was the easiest part to see, the double die. I mean, that kind of looks like it there, but it's, when I looked at the photos, it looked like machine damage more than it looked like a double die to me. I think this is the other toned one. See if the color shows up close. Not really. Just a wee bit. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, basically, the pictures of the double die for this year, they look pretty much just like that, but that doesn't look like a double die to me. I think the photos that they used must have been using a coin with machine damage as well as being the double die. Maybe we can find an RPM here in these, because maybe they looked through the coins with spots and just weeded them out because they had spots on them. I mean, you know, you don't necessarily want a double die with spots on it, but God is all chewed up there. Same with the date. This thing got marked up. That's too bad. So there is more than 50 here, so we'll probably go about the normal time. It's like you can see here, the God is pretty much normal. While the other ones, you know, it looks like there's a little bit pulled like this. I know, is that east side fatter, or is it just because it's missing? I feel like that one looks a little bit different than the first couple we looked at. Almost looked like there was a notch up at the top of the W. But yeah, it looks like machine damage to me, but this one looks a little bit different than the other couple that we looked at. And check out Liberty here. I feel like the top of the eye looks larger. I think it's just machine damage. We'll get a feel for these. The more we look at, we'll see what's normal. You know, it's like if we get like 10 of them in a row that all look the same, then it's probably nothing. But more, I feel like only one or two of these like has God looked full. And almost every single one of them looked kind of like the double die in the photo, so I think that's just machine damage. Move that one around a little bit, see if we can get the mint mark a little clearer. I think that one just got kind of nicked at the top. But honestly, that's like the RPMs for this year are not so cool looking, at least the ones that I saw before the show. So what do you guys want to see? Like, I feel like we've been doing rolls and mint cellos here for a while. And I'd be happy to do something completely different if there's any requests of people. And still have the 1956 rolls to go through. And I think I have a couple other bankrupt rolls from the 60s that we can maybe take a look at. I don't know, maybe I can get just some old school, hit up the cashier at the grocery store since I'm not going to make an extra trip to the bank, and see if we can do some old school coin roll searching. And then I can always just go and spend them. Move this around. I feel like I was almost seeing like a notch up at the top of the W. It might just be the angle. What happened to the focus here? There we go. Yeah, it looks like it's just light. Looks like some scratches at the bottom of the G. So I wish there was more to look through for these. It's like we're getting all intimate with the date and with the mint mark. Ooh, that one got smashed or flattened or something. It kind of looks thicker. I feel like all the other ones we've looked at have just been machine damage, and so we see like a semi-normal looking one. A really worn normal strike. I don't know, maybe I can do a bonus stream tomorrow where we go auction hunting and look for valuable stuff at discount prices. I feel quiet tonight. I feel like I did not get very much sleep this last week. It was just one of those weeks, and last night was the first time I actually got sleep, so I'm feeling way better, but I also just feel exhausted. That one looks kind of interesting. Let's check out the rest of it. It kind of looked like it might have been an RPM. It just looked really shallow, but if it was machine damage, I guess there's a little bit up at the top, but I would have expected to see it on the date as well. I think that's an RPM. I'll put that one aside. Maybe I can, at the end here, we can go to copper coins and see if that was one of the ones that were possible for this year. We can see what the condition of it is. I feel like that's the closest thing we've seen to looking like an RPM here in a while. I've been finding more RPMs on graded coins that I'm just making videos of for my store, and I'm like, oh, that looks like an RPM. Than I have in just like raw searching. Can I focus on this one? Move it around. That's better. Kind of like looking in the inside of that O there. Might just be on the cello or a mark inside. That one looks a little similar to this one, just not as well, or the first one, the one that kind of looked like an RPM. But it's like on this one you can see like to the east of the G, it's like little bits of doubling. Looks like a little piece of copper inside there, like the coin got rubbed. Or if we look at the rim on it, it's probably missing a little piece somewhere. One of the bad things when you buy like a bunch of mint cellos is I feel like most people do not mail them very well. They'll just put them in like a Ziploc bag or a sandwich bag, and they'll just put it in a bubble mailer, and it protects it from everything else, but it doesn't protect the coins from themselves. And I feel like I've seen tons of mint cellos that just look like they had like a big heavy box on top of them, and they just get ground together, which, believe it or not, is not super awesome for them. Some of them arrive just fine, but on some, like I go like to the edge of the mint cello and there's just like little flakes of copper inside. It just looks like gold dust when you look at it. But if you ever see them, check out the coin. It's probably all over the coin themselves. I'm guessing that's a little scratch inside the D there. Oh, it's inside the O too. There's like a little mark inside the... It's like all the insides have like an extra little line inside. That one almost looked like there was something to the north of the mint mark, but I think it was just machine damage. If we're going to look for RPMs, I want ones that like you can actually see something on them. That one looks pretty thick. I don't see any notching. So we've got about 20 more here. Hopefully we will have some good luck. That one looks like it's been kind of smashed. I feel like after my brain has been spinning all week, I've done my best to try to like get to a relaxed place, and it's like my mind just feels it's not the most exciting way to be when I stream though. I drank like 3-4 cups of coffee trying to build up some energy. I'm feeling caffeinated, but my body's too tired to show. So we need to find a couple more possibilities here. And I tried to win some more uncirculated rolls, but it looked like other people wanted them more than I did, so I let them go. I figured they'd be a next time. It's just going to be interesting to see, like, with basically all the PCGS coins selling out. Like, I mean, that's where it seems like what's going on is just everything's getting bought up. I'm imagining that the people who grade stuff, all the coins that they graded last time are going to get bought up, because that's what's happening to me. My store just keeps selling out, and then I have to buy a ton more, and then it gets harder and harder to find more. But I'm imagining that a bunch of the raw stuff that's available is going to start to dry up here. And that's kind of what I hear, is that like prices of rolls and that they're going up and stuff is becoming harder to find. I feel like I shouldn't wait too long to invest in those things, because I don't have a lot of early uncirculated rolls. At this point I feel like maybe a couple people out there do have a ton of them, but it doesn't seem like people have a lot. Is that one? I mean, it doesn't look like an RPM, but it's like you can see like the traces of something at the bottom or on the west side of it. It's like that looks more like machine damage to me, but I don't know, I'll put this aside with the other and we can compare it, and then we can look to see. Had 3 coins there. What was the third? Oh, one had an interesting. It's like that one almost looks like there's something to the north. I'll put that one aside. I don't think it's anything, but we'll just check the other RPMs that are cataloged and make sure that it's not something that's known. Can't hurt. We can always go back in the pile after. It's like that looks machine damage, but the way that the G ends almost looks like it's trying to have a notch. I think it's just machine damage, like all the tops. I think it's just worn out. It was kind of looking like the top corners of those, but I feel like that happens when I feel like it's just the light, but it definitely kind of wants to look like there's a notch up at the top of the W on the northeast. But look, the G is gone in this angle. Maybe not. We'll put that one aside. Just we'll take another look at it. Can't hurt. Nothing there. It is a quiet night. That's okay, because I feel pretty quiet tonight too. So that's how the other one looked when we first looked at it, and then when I came back it was gone. That one on the top so we can compare. Hold on 1 second, excuse me in advance. No fun coughing on stream. That one kind of looks like it has something to the north. Not really like an RPM. I'm gonna have to move this one. Nothing to see there. It's like this one kind of reminds me of the other ones, but in the reverse order. I think it's just machine damage. Something kind of an outline of the D to the east side. That one aside. It's like I feel like only the first one looked like it possibly could be an RPM, and I don't think it was. I'll take a look at what the experts say. And if you guys want, you guys can check out Chuck's website, coppercoins.com. And on the west side of the screen, there's a variety kind of search. I'll tell you what the name, die variety search, I think is what it's called. But then you can compare the coins with me if you want, because that's where we'll be headed. So why don't I open that up? I'll move these back into view. Let's see. Die variety search. 1981 to 1981, and then you click on Denver and submit. So let's open up. Yeah, the photos here just are not very good. A spread to the center of the die can be seen on In God We of the motto. But I feel like it's a circulated coin that it's showing, and it just does not look like a double die to me. I mean, it looks like about what 20 of the coins that we saw looked like. And so I don't think... I mean, an MS65, it would be worth $25, which is more than a normal one. So if we look at the RPMs, we've got kind of what I like to call like a duck beak, or a pigeon head RPM with just like the little notch in it. It doesn't look like we found 001. The 002 has a little notch underneath the top that's kind of shallow. This 003 has a notch on the bottom, and then same with the 004, it's kind of like a duck face, and the 005 a duck face, and the 006 looks like it's possibly a little extra thickness. Yeah, I don't think we found any of these. I don't think all of these were. We'll just go through them one more time, these last ones here. Yeah, there was nothing like this where it looked like there was something to the north or to the east. I think that's the best looking thing we found, but I think that is machine damage there. It's just too shallow, and there's no notches on it. I feel like the D looked a little bit thicker, but then we look at this one and it's kind of the same. But this one is another one that looked like there was possibly something to the north. And once again, just something to the west. It's like if that looked like that and it was like half a mint mark away, that might look cool. Like there was like remnants of a mint mark. And this one is just like kind of an outline to the east. I'm guessing it's more of a worn die, and just put lots of pressure and just implanted it a little bit too hard, leaving a mark there. So I don't think we found any goodies tonight, everyone. But thanks everyone for being here. Glad to get to congratulate you, Logan, on finding the scavenger hunt. Hope you enjoyed the NGC coins I sent. Thanks everybody for watching. I wish you guys beautiful weeks, and I'll try to have something fun for you guys this Wednesday. But everyone watching, have a good week. See you all in the future.